You're in a place with beaches ranked among the most beautiful in the world. You'll be curious to learn why people here live underground. You'll be captivated by the dazzling smiles of the charming, friendly local girls. Want some free barbecue? Come join us and explore the countless wonders of this country. It's full of surprises. Let's get moving. Australia is the size of the entire continental United States, nearly 3 million square miles of rugged land, stretching from deserts to snowy mountain peaks. With over 10,000 beaches in Australia, many of which are ranked among the most beautiful in the world, you're sure to find the perfect stretch of coastline for your favorite activity, whether it's surfing, snorkeling, swimming, or sunbathing. This massive island continent is home to just under 27 million people, less than Texas and Florida combined. In some parts of the outback, you can drive for 6 hours and not see another human being. It's also where summer is in December and barbecues replace fireplaces on Christmas Day. But wait until you see what people are doing underground to survive. That is Coober Pedy. More than 1,500 residents live in homes carved deep into sandstone hills. Because heat stroke is a real danger here, locals don't go anywhere without high SPF sunscreen, wraparound UV hats, and a stubborn will to survive. This place mines 95% of the world's opal, those glowing, rainbow-colored gemstones, million-dollar gems. There are underground churches, bars, hotels, even an art gallery. It's like a sci-fi frontier town, so Mad Max, Pitch Black, Red Planet, they all filmed here. Would you like to experience life in this underground city? If so, comment the number 3 and we'll share how you can get there in the comments below. In Australia, you'll easily notice that the girls here often have sun-kissed skin, bright smiles, and a relaxed fashion sense featuring flowy dresses, sneakers, swimwear, and wide-brimmed hats. Additionally, Australia has one of the highest rates of female university graduates in the world, and over 1/3 of small businesses are owned by women. It was also the first country in the G20 to have a female Prime Minister, Julia Gillard. If you find yourself drawn to their charm, drop a number 6 in the comments and we'll share how you can start dating them in the comment below. In Australia, if someone invites you to a BBQ, it's a social handshake, a kind of unspoken citizenship test. Across cities and small towns, you'll find free public BBQ stations in parks, near beaches, even in the middle of nowhere. Cleaned and maintained by the government because community and outdoor life actually matter. Then comes the beer. Here, beer isn't just a drink, it's social currency. You bring a few to share, or you offer one to a stranger, and suddenly, you're no longer a stranger. You're part of the group, maybe even a mate. And if you're considering relocating, listen up. Saying yes to a BBQ invite might be the fastest way to get accepted into Aussie social life. It's where strangers become friends and where no one cares what you do for a living, just whether you brought enough sausages and didn't burn the onions. In the Australian summer, vivid Sydney lights up the city, massive buildings transformed by colour and sound. It's the largest light show in the Southern Hemisphere. Then there's the Moomba Festival. Costumes so ridiculous, dancing in the streets, and laughter that spills out past midnight. Woodford Folk Festival runs for 6 straight days. Over 2,000 performances across music, spoken word, street theatre, and more. It's part Burning Man, part cultural retreat, part something you can't quite explain until you've sat in the grass, beer in hand, watching a didgeridoo solo under the stars. Australia has over 10,000 beaches, ranging from rainforests to deserts. Let's start with Bondi Beach. You've probably seen it online. Surf culture, city skyline, and sun-drenched bodies. Then there's Manly Beach, just a short ferry ride from downtown Sydney. But it feels like a whole different planet. Ideal for swimming, kayaking, or relaxing at beach resorts like the Sea Breeze Sydney Manly Beach, which overlooks the ocean. Hyams Beach holds a Guinness World Record for the whitest sand on Earth, and when you walk barefoot here, it feels like powdered silk. But here's the thing nobody tells you. Peak season, December through January, can get crowded and expensive. The sweet spot is February through April, when the crowds thin out, the water's still warm, and the prices drop. It's Australia's best-kept seasonal secret. Meet the kangaroos, koalas, and camera-ready creatures that make Australia feel like a live-action nature documentary. Did you know there are animals in Australia that will smile and take pictures with you? Let's find out what this adorable creature is called. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to unlock a treasure trove of our most captivating content. First up is the kangaroo. This is a national symbol. You'll see it on coins, government crests, even the tail of Qantas jets. Kangaroos can't walk backward. Australians picked them for exactly that reason. Then there's the koala, a marsupial, just like the kangaroo. Because their eucalyptus-only diet barely provides enough energy to function, so they sleep up to 20 hours a day. And koalas have fingerprints nearly identical to humans. And then there's the quokka. With a permanent smile so disarming, it's been dubbed the happiest animal in the world. They mainly live on Rottnest Island, just off the coast of Perth. They're too friendly. They'll hop up to tourists, tilt their heads, and pose for a selfie. Quokka selfies are a real trend. They show up in tourism ads, national branding, even Aussie storytelling. If you go to Australia, you'd hear deep echoing. It's the didgeridoo, an instrument that's as old as Aboriginal culture and possibly one of the oldest wind instruments on Earth. No two didgeridoos are exactly alike. Each one is traditionally crafted from eucalyptus, hollowed out naturally by termites. Then comes the human touch, shaping, painting, tuning. In Aboriginal culture, it's used during Dreamtime ceremonies, a sacred oral tradition that maps creation, ancestry, and land through rhythm. The vibrations hit your whole body. NASA research actually confirmed that the low-frequency resonance of didgeridoo vibrations can improve sleep quality and even breathing in people with sleep apnea. Nowadays, it's still part of everyday life in remote indigenous communities, tourist festivals, and even fusion jazz bands. In Aussie wine country, a German village tucked in the rolling hills of wine country, a real town with roots, rhythm, and bratwurst. Hahndorf, founded in 1839 by German Lutheran settlers fleeing religious persecution, feels like someone sliced a corner out of Bavaria and quietly dropped it in South Australia. Walk its 1-kilometer main street and you're hit with the scent of fresh-baked housebroat, wood smoke, and hops. There are black and white timber buildings, cuckoo clock shops, and cafes where locals greet you in English but serve you schnitzel like they've been doing it for generations. Stop at a bakery, grab a warm pretzel, and let yourself slow down. Seriously, time moves differently here. And if you're into wine, you're in the right place. Hahndorf sits on the edge of the legendary Barossa Valley, one of Australia's top wine regions. You can stay in a family-run guest house, walk to tasting rooms, and sip a deep Shiraz while looking out at the vines that produced it. A mix of old-world pride and Aussie practicality that makes it feel lived in, not staged. Australians consume over 2 billion cups of coffee a year. They drink it in tiny, local cafes, the kind where the barista knows your name, your order, and maybe even what kind of day you're having. This is the birthplace of the flat white, a smooth, velvety espresso-based drink with a whisper of steamed milk. Simple, bold, balanced, much like the people who drink it. Starbucks tried to take over, but they failed. Australians didn't want a global brand selling sameness. They wanted connection, conversation, character. The chain shut down most of its locations in less than a decade. Because to Aussies, coffee is where friends meet. Deals are made, mornings begin. Even dating often starts with, "Wanna grab a coffee?" Not as a formality, but as an actual, meaningful choice. So, if you're planning to explore life down here, skip the Green Mermaid. Find a hole in the wall with a scratched countertop and the hum of a grinder in the background. That's where the real stories start. If you said Sydney or Melbourne, you're not alone. But the real answer is Canberra. Quiet, purpose-built, and often skipped over. But maybe that's exactly what makes it worth discovering. Canberra is a city designed for calm. Wide streets, clean air, tree-lined bike paths that actually get used by people in suits. Here, politicians commute alongside PhD students and artists, all gliding silently past lakes and embassies. Understated sophistication, museums that actually challenge you, cafes where baristas might recommend philosophy books, and a rental market that, surprisingly, won't gut your bank account. Average rent hovers around $1,600 a month, less than Sydney and far less chaotic. It's not for party animals or beach bums. It's for remote workers, writers, diplomats, and anyone craving space to think. A slower pace without giving up modern convenience. You don't have to believe in magic to see it in Australia. Start with Uluru, a massive sandstone monolith in the heart of the outback, sacred to the Anangu people. But it's not just its size that hits you, it's the way it changes color throughout the day. Reds, oranges, deep purples, like the sky is painting it in real time. You don't just see Uluru, you feel it. Then head to Lake Hillier, where the water is cotton candy pink. Not from pollution or dye, but from natural algae and salt reactions. The color is so bold, it looks fake, until you're standing on the shore wondering how something so strange could be so real. And if you think rainforests are all the same, think again. Australia's Daintree rainforest is older than the Amazon. We're talking over 180 million years of evolution in one place. It's home to ancient species, rare birds, and trees that date back to the dinosaurs. Walk through it and it's like stepping into a time capsule, humid, dense, and alive. But wait, it gets weirder. Trek into the glowworm caves scattered across New South Wales and Queensland. No flashlight needed. Just let your eyes adjust and watch as thousands of tiny bioluminescent creatures light up the darkness like a starlit galaxy underground. And then, rising from the harbor like white sails caught in the wind, there's the Sydney Opera House, a marvel not just of architecture, but of symbolism. A UNESCO World Heritage Site, a reminder that Australia embraces culture just as fiercely as it celebrates the wild. You'll be cruising along a dusty back road when suddenly, Mount Buggery. It's in Victoria, and no, the locals aren't changing it. Keep going, and you might pass through Come By Chance, a tiny New South Wales town that sounds like it was named after a coin toss. And then there's Eggs and Bacon Bay, a peaceful inlet in Tasmania that sounds more like a brunch special than a real place. Nothing Street. So iconic in its irony, the sign gets stolen so often that the local council makes 10 extras a year just to keep up. They show you a country that balances wild landscapes with wild names, a place where even the road signs invite curiosity. Can you actually afford to live in Australia? For many, the cost of living is not only manageable, it's about 4% cheaper than in the US. Rent? In major cities like Sydney or Melbourne, you're looking at around $1,800 to $2,500 a month for a modern one-bedroom, less than New York or San Francisco, and cleaner, safer, more scenic. Want more space for less? Small towns and regional areas offer rentals for as low as $1,200 per month. Groceries run $80 to $150 a week, depending on your diet and location. You'll pay more for imported stuff, but local produce, meat, and seafood are fresh and affordable. Utilities? Expect about $200 a month for electricity, water, and internet if you're not blasting the AC 24/7. Now, here's a big one: healthcare. Australia has a hybrid public-private system that actually works. Routine care? Often free or low cost. Private insurance? Optional and still cheaper than the US. Most expats report better service for less money without the bureaucracy that bleeds you dry. Over 55? Check out the Investor Visa 188 or certain retirement visa pathways. Varies by state. Digital nomads or remote workers between 18 and 30? The Working Holiday Visa or Temporary Skill Shortage Visa could be your golden ticket. Many states offer nomination programs, basically incentives to bring skilled people like you into regional communities that need fresh energy. All right, let's talk about the flavor of Australia. Start with Vegemite. Over 70% of Americans say it's too intense. Why? Because they eat it wrong. Spread it thin, on buttered toast with eggs on the side. It's salty, umami, and oddly addictive once your brain recalibrates. Craving sweets? Try a Tim Tam, chocolate on chocolate, with a biscuit crunch and a cult following. Bite off both ends, use it as a straw for hot coffee. There's also the Lamington, a humble sponge cake rolled in chocolate and coconut. It's soft, nostalgic, and shows up at almost every Aussie bake sale or picnic. Meat pies. This is stadium food down under. Flaky pastry, savory fillings, piping hot. You'll find them everywhere, from gas stations to gourmet shops. We've uncovered 15 fascinating facts about Australia. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to support us by hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel so you won't miss out on our upcoming exciting videos. Your support helps us keep creating better content. Be sure to check out the next video that's showing up on the screen. I'm sure you're going to love it. And don't forget to leave a comment about which country you'd like us to explore next. We're so glad you're here today. Please leave a comment, like the video to support us, and subscribe for more videos. See you soon!